What's up, everybody? Welcome to Podcast Now. I'm Alex. In this video, I want to discuss if the Harry Potter open world game will release simultaneously with the third Fantastic Beasts movie. Now, this, I believe, is the first video we've made about this Harry Potter game ever since it was confirmed or shown to us that Magic Awakened was that Chinese RPG card game. So it's going to be a bit harder to talk about the title of this game or to literally mention it because I'm so programmed to say that name out loud, even to title the videos as such. It's going to be pretty weird to kind of move away from that. But okay, we're going to go and assume now, by the way, because I'm going to be continuing these videos. I love talking about this game, or the hope of this game. Basically, I do want to continue making videos, and so we're going to assume from this point on that the game that we've been talking about still exists. It's just under a different name. Okay, just to clarify, I can say that at the beginning of every video, but that's what we're going to do. So we're going to pretend that the game is still happening. It's not like it's been canned. We'll pretend it's still, and I guess pretend. I mean, I still believe it is being made just under a different name. Okay, so the Harry Potter open world game, it's still going on. It's still being developed. We're going to see it eventually, right? It's going to come out. Will it come out with Fantastic Beasts 3? Now, the day I'm recording this is the day that they've announced that, yes, officially, Fantastic Beasts 3, it's greenlit. It's going to happen starting in the spring of 2020. They're going to start filming, and then November 12th, 2021, the movie is going to come out. And the question has always been the past like 2-3 or the past ever since the leaks came out, so the past year and couple months. The idea has been, would they do it so it could release simultaneously with the Fantastic Beasts movie? In fact, last year the idea was, with all these leaks coming out, would they announce the game right as that second movie came out, right as The Crimes of Grindelwald came out? Would they announce the game? And that was a big thing. That was a really big thing. That was like, well, would they do it simultaneously with that? And then that day came and passed, and they're like, okay, maybe the Video Game Awards or the Game Awards, and then that didn't happen either. And now here we are almost an entire year later, still not looking too good for it to be announced at this Game Awards, but probably E3, I would imagine. Now the question is, and again, we've talked about it a lot, would this game be ready to go for the fall of 2021, and could they do it simultaneously with the third movie? And what I've always said, now, and I guess I should just cut to the chase, I do feel like this game probably is a fall of 2021 game. I really do. Warner Bros. However, I am a little bit split because there is always the chance that the game gets announced and then it comes out very, very soon after, sooner than a lot of people think. And again, what we've talked about for months is that's how Warner Bros. Does its stuff. It announces things and it does not sit on them for very long. They announce it and then bam, it comes out within 4, 6, 8 months, like 4 to 8 months after they announce it, the game is out. They did it with Mortal Kombat. They've done it with all of the Arkham games, or at least their plan for all the Arkham games has been. For Rocksteady, Warner Bros. Montreal, all these games, they announce them, and then they want the game to come out very, very soon after. Injustice, all of them. And so if the game does get revealed at E3 2020, you have to wonder, well, could it come out in the fall of 2020, which that was the video like a couple times ago? Or also, if it's not ready for that fall, could it come out like in the spring of 2021? But then if it comes out in the spring of 2021, could they then just, push it a little bit, work on it, keep working on it, and then have it come out in the fall? But what I've always said is I don't think they ever had planned the game to coincide with the movie's release. I truly don't believe that was the case, especially because the third movie was delayed a year. So if they wanted it to somehow be connected to the movie, maybe the announcement was supposed to be with the movie, but unless they thought that this game could come out in the fall of 2020, and because if the game comes out, say, in the fall of 2021, there's no way they could have planned it to coincide with the movie because the movie wasn't supposed to come out in 2021. So when they're making this game, they're thinking, oh, this movie's coming out in 2020. So, and you know what I mean? The timeline doesn't work. I think that in the age that we're in, it's fine, though, because Harry Potter is back. Now, I will say, the movies have continued to do, there's only been 2, but there was a major drop-off between the first and second movie. And if there's a drop again between the second and third movie, that is going to be a major problem. Because I was going to say, Harry Potter's back, the enthusiasm is back. It is. It's just not as much as it was back with actual Harry Potter. The Fantastic Beasts is not doing as well, I think, as they expected. And as these movies continue to go forward, we will see if they continue to do worse and worse, and that would be a major problem. Still, the thirst for like a wizarding thing is out there. A wizarding game in the way that this open world RPG is supposed to be is always welcome. There could be no Harry Potter movie the last 10 years and the next 10 years, and this game could come out, and I think it would still do insanely well. The Harry Potter brand is always alive. I think it always will be. And the people wanting a game like this, it's always been there. It always will be there. They will support it. We will support this game no matter what, right? So, again, I don't think it needs to coincide with the movie. However, I go back and forth because there's also the question of would it even be announced at E3 2020? We've talked a lot about E3 2020. I'm sure we'll talk about it more over the next 6 months. I also 100% believe, more than I believe almost anything else about this E3, is that Rocksteady will be there and Rocksteady's game will be there and we'll hear about it. And if you use the logic I just said of, the game gets announced and then it'll come out, 6 to 8 months after or however much after, I don't think you have Rocksteady's brand new game that they've been working on at that point, 5.5 years. I don't think you have that game come out at the same time this Harry Potter game comes out. Okay, I really don't think you do that. I think you space them out like 6 months apart at least. Okay, you kind of bookend it where you start the year off with one and then you end the year with another. I think that's how you would generally do it. One around February, March, one around October, November. And again, remember the original release date of Arkham Knight was supposed to be in the fall. I believe it was supposed to be October or late September, and then it was delayed till June the following year, delayed almost a full year. But Rocksteady's last game, they did want it to be in the fall, and they announced it at Sony's E3 that year, so they were planning on that game coming out less than 4 months after it was announced. So, again, if Rocksteady does have their new game, it's very, very possible it's a cross-platform game, a cross-generation game for PS5, PS4, Xbox One, and Xbox Scarlet this fall. It could come out in October, November, whatever, but that's very, very possible. In that case, there's no way a Harry Potter game comes out in the fall of 2020, which means now we start looking to 2021. Do you have it come out in the spring? Well, that's possible, but at the same time, then you wouldn't announce it at E3, I don't think. And then, then we get to the fall of 2021, which then maybe they announce at E3 2021. There's a lot of dates, basically, flying your way, and I'm sorry for that. But I'm basically saying I do think 2021 is looking very, very likely. I think Rocksteady's game definitely comes first, especially just because, not because of its importance, but because it's literally been worked on longer, and I just plainly think it's almost done. So this Harry Potter game very well could, bleed basically into the fall of 2021, which again, that would be ideal. It would be probably the best case scenario for the game to come out at the same time as the movies. I think they would definitely help each other out. Even if the movie is weaker, you have the game and you're like, hey, have you played this game? You can return to Hogwarts, you're back. It's amazing. It's a Game of the Year contender. Everybody's talking about it. It's like, well, the movie's coming out or the movie is out, and, it's not the greatest thing in the world, but it's just more magic, And I think, again, I think they definitely help each other out. And I don't know if the game necessarily would need the movie. Movie. It's not even a movie tie-in game, and not even the reverse of that either. They really do stand on their own 2 feet, just separate from each other. But it can't hurt, right? Having the movie come out, and they're like, hey, and even for that, even for casual moviegoers, or if they have a console, or they have a child that has one of the consoles, the next generation consoles, and it's like, hey, we just saw this movie. The children liked it, and it's like, hey, there's a game that's out for it. Again, it really does help it out. And so I see, why it's a good marketing idea, and it's a strong idea to do, but especially when it comes to lining up a game with a movie, which really never happens almost ever. You have to, you have to be careful, and also, it's really, I feel like, not planned out that way. In the case of this, there are cases where there's that Jumanji game coming out in a few weeks, early December, where it looks, I'll just flat out say, it looks pretty awful, right? And it's like that movie tie-in game where they're just trying to get it out with the movie just to kind of, suck your money, right? Just to see if people will fall for it. That does happen. I mean, it happens every single year. It doesn't happen as much as it used to back, basically in the PS2 and PS3 or the last 2 console generation eras. It hasn't happened as much, but it still definitely happens. So, I get that, but this isn't that. These are 2 very, very big things that, again, stand on their own. It's not a tie-in. They're not going to rush or force the game out early to tie it in because it's we need the movie to survive. that would be like delaying the new Arkham game, whenever it does get announced and whenever it's confirmed to be real. That would be like that would be like pushing it or making it come out faster, or literally making it come out like the same month as the Batman movie with Robert Pattinson. That would be the same exact thing. It's like, you don't need that. We've proven that these Arkham games, they sell on their own. They don't need a movie. You don't need a movie to help these games. The games are fine, right? They're completely fine. They'll sell just fine by themselves. Same thing here. A Harry Potter open world game. I keep saying Harry Potter, but like a magic game where you play at Hogwarts and you do all that stuff. That is enough. I mean, that is an amazing idea, which has been around for a while, right, because of the books and movies, but they've just never put it together in a game the way that this game hopefully will. So you don't need a movie to help the game out. The game will sell just fine. It'll make its money. It'll make more than its money's back. So like, it'll be completely fine. You don't need the movie to help it out. So I get it. I do feel like possibly the timing of it all will lead to the game being released around the same period as the movie. I just don't. I feel like I'll get annoyed if I see articles and videos and stuff made where it's like they planned it that way, or that was like the case that was the case from the very beginning. They wanted that. It was not. It was kind of like just a lucky thing that ended up happening. But I do think it'll probably end up lining up really nicely for them, where they will be able to get this game out around the fall of 2021, which again would be the same time period as Fantastic Beasts 3. So guys, let me know in the comments below, when do you think this Harry Potter open world game is going to release? Do you think it's going to come out with Fantastic Beasts 3 around the same time? Or do you think sooner, later, whenever? Let me know in the comments below. Make sure you guys subscribe to our YouTube channel, Podcast Now. Hit that bell icon so you guys know when these videos go up. And thank you, as always, for watching. We cover this Harry Potter game quite often on our channel. Every couple weeks, if you guys are interested in that, you've definitely come to the right place. Thank you all so much for watching, and we hope to see you on the next video.